Now I am going to show you how to insert data into database using the Eloquent ORM. So in order to show you that, I am going first to my web.php route, and here I will create a route, and my route name is student, and here I will create a controller that will be student controller. So I am going to give here a name, and index is the method. Now I am going to my terminal, and here I am going to run php artisan make controller, and then I am going to give the controller name student controller, and I will also create a model that is make model student. As I am going to use the Eloquent, so I will need the model, so like this. Now I am going to create migration php artisan make migration, then create students table. Migration also created. Okay. Now I am going first to my migration, and here you see that this one is created. Here I am going to add some data into the students table that I will create, that is string name. I will have to give student name, for example, then email, then student age, then student country. So name, email, age and country. Now I am going to migrate. So php artisan migrate. It is showing me error because there is a problem in the database. So here I am going to give the password here. Now I go to run the query again. You see that there is no database by the name Laravel. So I am going to create a database also. So I am going here, refresh. You see that a new database comes by the name Laravel. And here I created students. So students table coming name, email, age and country. Now I will insert data into the database using the Eloquent ORM. Migration is okay. Now you see that I created a controller into the HTTP controllers. You see that this is my student controller, and I also created a model, that is this model. That model I will call in the top of controller to use that. So use app models student. I call the model name. The model name will be the singular form of the database table. So here I use the student. Now here I am going to call public function. I will create data first. So I am going to use the public function create function. Okay. So here instead of index I call create this function, and here student slash create. This student controller I will have to call in the top, use app http, then controllers, and then student controller. So this one is good. Now in this create function I will run the code in order to insert data into the database. So first I am going to create a object of the student class, that means student model. I am going to create an object of this model. So I am going to give a name here, that is object obj, and now I will assign data. For example, obj of name, student has a name attribute. I will assign the name data here. There is a email attribute, so here I will assign the email here. There is another one, that is age and country, like this. I am going to recheck it again, name, email, age and country. Okay, created and updated that will automatically work, so I do not need to work with those. And lastly I will have to write the save, this function, so object save. So if you run this one, a new data will be inserted into the students table. Now here I am going to give the student name, for example Smith, smith@gmail.com. this is one student. The s field, actually I made the s field string. Okay, no problem. 30 or 20. Country is USA. Now if I run this, what will happen? I am going here, student, then create. This was my route name. Enter. Now if I refresh, you see that a student is added here by the information I gave using there. I am going to add some other students randomly, or if you want you can use the DB seed, and if you want you can use the other system, the whole factory system, to add more data. But I am going to do some random data. I am going to add here like Patrick, and here is 25 USA. I am going to run it, refresh. So here if I go here, another one is inserted, another one is 22. For example, David, this one is David, this is Australia. Okay, now this is another student, refresh, and this student is added, Peter. So 24 USA. Now I am going to refresh, and this one is added here. Okay, so last one I am going to add here, like this, 25 Italy, for example. Now refresh, the fifth student is added. So you see that each time when it is created is showing here. So first time created at and updated at will have the same value. Now for the next time, if you update any data of this table or any row of this table, then that data updated at field will be updated. If you update data, for example, after 1 month or any time, that particular time and date will be added here, but created at will not be changed. It will be only first time change, and only this created at and updated at, these two attribute will work only if you use the Eloquent ORM and if you use the model based system like this. So I hope you have understood how to insert data into the database table using the Eloquent ORM.